Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my review of the Division beta. In my 4 days of playing the beta, I had such an amazing time with this game. One of the aspects of the game I was really intrigued by was the role-playing. The implementation of a voice proximity chat created an amazing experience. Essentially, in the Dark Zone, even when you're in a party, people near your character can hear your conversations. It makes code words more essential when coordinating plans with your friends, and also allow you to meet new players. On the topic of friends, this game is so much fun with parties. It provides an experience of collaboration and coordination with your buddies, similar to the game of Payday 2. You'll experience many insane engagements in combat, with squad members attempting to clear out an area together, or going rogue on one another, and hilarious instances of failures in the game, such as getting demolished when you have the advantage, and using silly code words. When I played the game, I used the code word bananas with a group of people that I just met through the game, and it was so hilarious. The focus around partying is just absolutely amazing in this game. It really puts an emphasis in meeting and collaborating with your peers. Now, solo queuing wise, you will still find enjoyment with the game, but you'll most likely find the game really difficult, especially when entering in the Dark Zone alone. In PvE, all the AI are aiming at you, making it difficult to find openings. In PvP, everyone just gangs up on you since they're most likely all in parties. There was a decent amount of customizability in the beta, so you shouldn't worry about looking different from others. The variety of weaponry was a bit stale, however, but it may be due to the beta limitations. Weapons of the same name can have different stats. For instance, I have an M4 doing 1800 DPS with the ability to do 100% more damage when the enemy's health is 30% or lower, and then another M4 doing 2500 DPS, but without any special talents. Different style of weapons were present, however. Some were burst fired, automatic, and then semi-automatic. But I found myself questioning why you would never just go fully automatic. Maybe there was insane recoil, but other than that, I don't really understand. Most of the enemies in the game have high health pools, thus you most likely want the highest damage output in the quickest amount of time possible. I can only see using burst weapons and semi-automatic weapons for long engagements or to clear out low health baddies really quickly. Automatic weapons are used for everything, and they even excel at bossing. Now, on the topic of bossing, a lot of people complained or a little bit worrisome about how the humans are kind of spongy, soaking up all these bullets, but you quickly overlook it with the intense action that's going on all around you. The shooting gameplay was relaxing yet also tense when needed to be. Playing with AI is very different from playing against players. In AI, patience is key, finding an opening to reduce the weapon damage received, and then instantly popping up to demolish the enemy. In PvP, however, you have to play really aggressively or your opponent can really take advantage of your location. Now, appearance is a huge turnoff for me when discovering new games. The Division has a futuristic appeal to it, but not too far-fetched to the point where it doesn't seem unrealistic. Still trying to preserve a realistic vibe, the entire UI of the game is absolutely on point. If you love the look of holograms, you'll most likely enjoy every visual aspect about this game. The map is a 3D projection of your surrounding. There's an interface by your character that looks like a hologram. If you've ever seen the Microsoft HoloLens, it looks similar to that as how it's advertised. And the entire UI layout is simplistic yet informative. It's a very clean and effective way to provide feedback to the player while not covering the entire screen. Graphically, the game was pretty damn good looking. I had to tone down my graphics to medium to maintain a stable 50 to 55 FPS, and it still looked awesome. I even had to tone it down a little bit lower to all low settings to maintain a 60 to 70 FPS reading, and it didn't look sloppy at all. Yes, the shadows may have been more pixelated, and the structures may have seemed a little bit more watered down, but it is by no means visually terrible compared to other games out there. Overall, my first impressions of the game has been fantastic, but there are definitely some issues to be addressed. Starting with the smaller criticisms, I did experience some odd graphical glitches at times when I was running all low settings. The structures would turn gray and then random gray spikes would spaz on the screen, making it impossible to play once you've encountered the graphic issue. A reset would fix the issue, but eventually come back after a certain amount of time. Some loot wasn't lootable, mainly things like metapacks, grenades, and ammo. This one I can't fully confirm, but Dark Zone chests, some people couldn't open them even after clearing out the area and possessing a key. Maybe there's a timer of some sort to avoid overusing a specific chest, but a lot of people had read on Reddit how this was a glitch, so I'm not too sure about that. and then your character being stuck on a platform when you've just jumped up to it. Sometimes when you jump up to a ledge using the control button, you can't jump back down for some odd reason. Usually, like, even if it's a place where you could usually jump back down, it'll glitch out and not let you jump back down. It's probably a simple issue to fix, but a workaround is just walking to the left or the right, like 3 steps, and then you're able to jump back down the ledge. Now onto the larger issues that may stop the game from being a huge hit. Solo queuing to me was almost to the point of undesirable. Doing the story mode, I was fine with, but when entering the Dark Zone, I had no motivation, no confidence, and no way to obtain amazing loot. Everyone was in parties, so you'd easily be ganged up on. Some players would just kill you on sight if you didn't have any loot and was just trying to pass through the area. And areas were always looted by people who were in groups. For instance, if I tried soloing a landscape, it would take like 20 minutes just because of how difficult it was. And within that 20 minutes, another group would just run in, clear that area out, and steal all my loot. That 20 minutes of work, all for nothing. Ubisoft really needs to balance a little bit more in order to catch solo gamers' interest, because solo queuing at the moment is just a disadvantage. Replayability and endgame content is also a concern of mine. From the limited amount of gameplay available to us beta players, it appears that once you've completed the stories in the PvE world, you're forced to either replay the missions, wait around for encounters to happen, or head to the Dark Zone. You may think the Dark Zone has a ton of replayability, and that may be so, but to me, I feel like the Dark Zone is just a place to find stronger loot than the PvE world. So in the case of a low-level character, like level 8 let's say, once he gets great loot for his level, so he gets an amazing AK that for level 7, but then he finds a new helmet that's level 8. He needs to go back to the PvE world so he can level up to level 8 again, and then equip the armor, and then head back to the Dark Zone to find even better loot. In the scenario of an endgame character, however, obtaining strong loot will only provide you a better appearance and a better way to kill other players, since the loot you will find won't be used in the PvE world that much since you've already completed it. This will kill the community of the game since the endgame characters will just be running around killing all the other players. And last of all, the community will heavily affect whether this game will be a success or not. For the beta, this game appears to be more focused around players who wanted to get involved with other people when playing. If the community becomes very trolly and annoying, the game will turn into an RPG with 3 other crew members playing PvE and no longer an MMORPG. Now, what are some things I would love to see in the game eventually? I would love to see an implementation where squads can form alliances with other squads, because right now, it's really difficult to identify who are the other members in your alliance, causing players to accidentally go rogue on one another for no apparent reason. I would also love to see a more lively Dark Zone. The place seems deserted with only action being present at the landmarks, extraction points, and contaminated areas, but even then, the landmarks are usually cleared out and thus contain no action. Essentially, the Dark Zone seemed a bit plain for my taste. Another change I would love to see is the rogue status. The rogue implementation is amazing in this game. It makes the game really interesting and dynamic, but when you go full on rogue and achieve manhunt, it's impossible to get out of it. You're expecting a small group of people who went rogue to not kill anybody for 3 or 4 minutes when there's 50 people going after you. How does that work? A little balancing, well, a big balancing needs to happen in order to make the rogue status more usable. Overall, the game seems very promising. Even if you aren't interested in an MMORPG shooter, I would definitely recommend you keep an eye on this game. However, I would not recommend you to pre-order the game yet. The beta didn't fully grasp my interest, and it wasn't a complete success for displaying a finished game, which then again it is in beta, but a beta should mean it's close to being finished. And in my opinion, I don't think it's a fully finished product yet. I will say I tend to avoid pre-ordering games nowadays, so take that bias into consideration when purchasing. But the game appeared to lack replayability and had a quite narrow direction for playing. Nevertheless, I really enjoyed my time with the game. Anyways guys, that's all I have to say about the Division beta. I hope you guys enjoyed my review, and feel free to leave your opinions about the game. I'm really curious what your guys' impressions are. Anyways, hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time.
Warning. Hostiles detected.
The escort party's taking heavy fire from the roof. They can't move until you get up there and take down that gunner.
We're pinned down! There's no way we'll make it across alive unless someone can get up there and take out the big guns!
All yours, Agent. Alpha Escort, we have an agent on the roof. Has Candle made it to your position?
Affirmative. She and her staff just arrived. As soon as the hostiles on the roof are gone, we'll get her across safely.
Warning. Additional hostiles incoming. Warning. Additional hostiles incoming.
Got the medics safely across. Candle and all staff accounted for. No casualties.
We're off to a good start, agents. Wish I could have had your back out there, but I think we make a hell of a team anyway. When you get back to the base, we'll talk to Candle, and we'll see what she can do for us.